Alright, little test here. I've wired up the Xbox 360 wireless steering wheel to the coin door here and see if it turns on. Alright, power's on. It's powered on the Xbox. And we've got video. So the only problem is I haven't hooked up the D-pad or any of the buttons other than start, back, and the home button. So the start button. Fortunately, the start button won't start the game. Oh, well, wait, looks like maybe it did. Hey. Alright, game is loading. Xbox control, I know it's hard to see, it's dark there, but I saved the LED ring so the LED lights up to show that it's connected to the Xbox. Back over here, press start. Okay, I can do that. Press A to accept. Guess what? I can't press A. Let's try start. Nope. So that's going to be as far as I can get as far as my testing. But yeah, it does start up. Let me open it up here and see if I can get a picture of what's inside. Where did I put my flashlight? Oh, it's still inside. Alright. So basically what I've done is I've hacked the electronics out of the Xbox steering wheel. There are 3 small PCBs. There's one for charging the battery. I did not hook that one up, and it looks like it doesn't matter. So what we've got is one that's kind of dangling there, has the connection to the gas and brake pedal and power. And then we've got the large square one in the middle that is connected to the steering wheel input. Board underneath. I'll use some anti-static bubble wrap just to keep everything in there. And for right now, here's the rest of the wheel controls, just kind of mounted with one bolt up to the back of the coin door, and shot with some light at the front. There was a hole for a bill validator. That was a metal plate. I took the metal plate off, made a copy of it out of some fiberboard I had, cut holes out for the Xbox home button, back button, and start button, and then just screwed the little PCB with the hub that I hacked out of the middle of the steering wheel. No going back, the steering wheel is now toast. Mounted it with 4 bolts from the steering wheel assembly. You can kind of see in there, there's the centerpiece of the wireless wheel hub, and you can get a bit of a view of the small circuit board that controls the 3 buttons, the home, start, and back. So the rest of the buttons are housed on this PCB that's out there in an angle. So what I'm going to have to do next is wire up the D-pad, the ABXY buttons, and figure out where to put them. If you look at the game, right there I've got 4 buttons that are in the game. I've also got a shifter, and I've got buttons on the steering wheel. Although there's 2 buttons, they're currently wired up so that they both just actuate one switch. There's plenty of room. I can cut off the factory connector and run the individual wires down so that you've got 2 buttons there. So the only problem is trying to figure out what buttons I want to do what. Like I said, I've got the home button and the start button down on the coin door, so the big green button that says start doesn't need to say start. I'm thinking perhaps that'll be the A button. And then what I really should do is just play these driving games with a controller and figure out what buttons are needed, so I can figure out what's the best button to hook up to 1, 2, and 3 and the wheel. I could do upshift, downshift on the wheel. It does not have paddle shifters, so that's a distinct possibility, is to have that set up to upshift, downshift. If I set it up for something else, like the A button or B button, I have to make sure it doesn't hurt anything if you accidentally hit it when you're driving, because the location of the steering wheel and your hands, it's very possible to accidentally hit those buttons while you're steering. The shifter, yeah, not sure there what to do. I haven't, again, looked at the driving games to see how they shift, if they just do sequential shift, one button shifts you up a gear, one button shifts you down a gear, or if they can be set up for a 4-position shifter. If they can, then that should be pretty easy, but again, what buttons would that connect to on the controller? I guess I could also do a D-pad 1, 2, 3, 4. The problem is that there's always a active button. You can see right now it's in position 1, so it's either 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no neutral position where there are no active buttons. So if I hook that up for shifting, I have to make sure that in the game, if you just hold whatever button down shifts, it doesn't cause a problem. Otherwise I might have to look into where I could get a circuit that would send one keystroke or one button push, sorry, and then turn it off. So that's the progress for today. Everything's shoved in the coin door. I'll mount those somewhere. They're so small, I'm thinking maybe mount them to a small piece of wood and then put them in the coin door up against the side wall or something. And then figuring out where to wire up my buttons. So it's coming along pretty good so far.